Hey, so this is what we'll be creating in Blender. Hopefully, let's get started anyway. Okay, hopefully you're having a fantastic holiday. This came up in my feed and I kind of thought this would be nice to create something simple, not too much in Blender. It's not overcomplicated, so let's jump in and try to create this. So you're going to need a few assets, so just to save us time. Of course you can model your own person, but I'm going to go to Sketchfab and I'll just download this here, this 3D pack of people here. And of course you can get higher res ones or lower res ones, all kinds, depending on what you want to do, or the type of style you want to go with. If you want a realistic or if you want a low poly cartoony style, depends on what you want. But yeah, this is a great resource, Sketchfab. So the one I'm using is by this guy, Lokic Norgetto. I don't know if I say this name right, but he has quite a few and they're quite free. I forget. Anyway, we'll just borrow this and we'll just use one of these as a silhouette. Anyway, and the aim is to have them like kind of centered in the screen. Anyway, enough talking, let's get to creating. I'm just going to delete these two. I'll leave the camera in here. Let's add a plane. So this will be our ground. So we can have a ground plane, and we can even rename this ground. Hopefully it won't take us too long to create something like this. Let's add a new material to this. New kind of. So if we take a look, it's a rough. It's very rough. So we're just going to make this dark. Yeah, make sure we can see our materials. Maybe it'll be easier if we are in. Nah, it doesn't matter for now. Anyway, we're going to shading. Let's kind of roughen this surface up so we can maybe bring the reflection, maybe a bit reflective, but still blurry and out of focus. And in the roughness, actually the roughness is gonna what we want. So we're gonna drag this and we're gonna use the noise texture, right? You can see already scaling this, the detail. There we go, and you can control that roughness. So now we're gonna got that patchy look. Now let's put a color ramp in between. So I'm gonna just click here, add a converter color ramp in between. Boop. Now this will give me a bit more control over this surface. So now we get these nice patches of really reflective and then some really rough areas, and then of course play around with your the detail and the roughness here as well. So maybe keep that roughness up and then just drag some of these values. If you want swirly you can, entirely up to you. I don't think I like that look, but there we go. We've got kind of a rough surface. And it's not a full black, it's kind of like a grey. If you do want to bring it full black, you can bring it down. We can play around with that, but I'll go for like this kind of greyish look here. Let's go back to our layout. So you can see we already got a ground plane. Now I'm going to turn off, if I click on the third one, I'm going to turn the scene world off, so just there's no scene world. Also here I'm going to turn the color to black. So right now we have nothing. There's nothing affecting it. If this, because this was grey, you can see it's kind of light in the environment. So I'm going to change the environment to black, so there's nothing there. So anything we add will light the scene. So if I add a plane, and this will be our kind of light, backlight. So, or our portal, or should I say, or door opening, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Anyway, let's set this to, I'm going to press N, this will pop out this side menu. Now I can set this to 90, boom, straight away. Scale this up. There we go. Let's push this back. Okay. So if the person's down here, we're going to be looking at it from the front, like this. So we need to add a material to this. So we're going to new material, This will be emissive. Sorry, my spelling's really bad, but I do know how to make pretty pictures. Anyway, emission. Bump this up, or we won't see it in here because we need either we'll have to. If you're doing it EV, you might have to like use your what's it called, light probe stuff, and use the irradiance volumes and all the reflection and all of that. Bake this in to see. And also you have to turn on like refraction, screen space, all of this you have to turn on. You can do it in Eevee. It's, you know, we're not locked into that, but I want to use cycles. Switch to GPU. Okay. I'm gonna actually leave the noise off because it seems a lot softer with the denoise, and it will make the glow. But you can already see we've already made progress. Anyway, let's take a look at that image again. What color was it? It's kind of like it's got a blue, kind of blue glow to it. So I can also add that in the emission color here, just add it in the blue. There we go. Now to get that nice fog, you know, that we need fog to get that nice glow from it. And we can add that in, but let's add our model in. So we're going to import our asset. So we're going to import, it was a GTLF that I downloaded, D drive, was work, Blender, and then I called it the project folder, Doctor Who, low poly people, this import, and they're massive. I don't know if that you can scale them down. Woo. Now we've got a whole group of them, and now scaling is how big do you want them to be, or how small? And we only need one person right now, but these are the different levels. I believe there are different levels, and I guess you can choose which one, or we can have all of them. But yeah, which pose do you think is the best? This one's got his arms crossed. This one's actually got her arms aside with a bear. This one's got hands in pockets. Hands in pockets? Nah, kind of boring. So get rid of that. Crossed arms. I mean, this one is like, what's going on? This one's like, yeah, too static. This one I don't like the teddy bear, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Now, let's have these three. Now, look at this. I mean, we could have all three. We can have all three and just swap them out and then render each one. So I'm gonna delete these. I'm gonna delete these, and this. Boom. Now we're left with three. See, that already looks cool. Right, it already looks cool if I haven't done anything. But you can see here, you know, I kind of like the way the light hits them as well. And then of course you've got this guy as well. I mean, he's kind of boring pose as well. It's a boring pose. I mean, these two are more interesting. So, you know, that's interesting. And then like that. Maybe we'll have all three people in there. Maybe we just stagger them. Oop. Yeah, could do something like that. Maybe something slightly different. Anyway, we want this kind of to glow, like I said. So what we're gonna do is add a mesh cube. And this will be the fog. Okay, you can go inside because it already looks cool, but we don't want this to we don't want that to look like this. I mean, you can have it look like this, but yeah. On the cube, I'm gonna rename this fog. New material. I'm gonna go to the shading tab. Delete this. From volume, I want the volume scatter. I'm gonna do 0.0006. Bring this anisotropic up. There we go. And kind of got a bit of a glow. Maybe that's too low, so can play around with that. The volume, the density here. Maybe that's too low. 0.60. There we go. Now we've got that nice glow coming off of them. Now, if you want this to kind of maybe sit on the ground, I don't know, or go all the way up, so I'm going to just move these points, these 2 points. Should I go into edit mode, get out of this, there we go. I want to move these up, and make my life easier. I'll do a vertical split. Let's position our camera so we can lock this camera to view. There we go. You can see here in this window, we've done it many times anyway. You can see as I move in this window now, because the camera's locked to the view, you can see the camera's moving here. But as well, I do have the option to click here and move the camera around as well. But it's just easier to lock the camera to view. Then I can press N to collapse this menu. Boom. Hide the gizmos. Boom. Press 0. 0 will take you into the camera if you're not in the camera on the numpad, and home on the keyboard. We'll fill that screen. Boop. There we go. Now we're in the render view, and now I can kind of position this. I think it looks cool. We pull back. I'm going to change the type of camera to something like a panoramic. I like that already. And let's play around with that, expand that field of view and the lens. Can bring that up 25. Pull this back a tiny bit. There we go. So we got a bit of curvature because it's using a more fisheye lens. Cameras, if you take a picture and you look at a straight line, they're not actually straight. There is some kind of curvature because of the lens, but yeah, there's some kind of distortion. But yeah, that looks a lot better. Now we can maybe add some bump to this surface because right now it's a bit boring. So I'm going to shading. Let's add some normal. So our normal here. Let's just add bump to the height. I'm going to just do some noise. Noise texture, bump. Yeah, it kind of looks all watery, don't worry. Just play around with our settings on our noise texture so we can scale this, add some detail, roughness, bring that strength down, of course. We also add the color ramp. I don't know how this would work, but we'll try it. Where is color ramp? Converter, color ramp. What happens if I put it in between here? Can I reduce how much there is? Maybe it's before that. Let's delete that. So go back to there. Maybe it's in between here. I'm just trying. I don't know what will happen. Converter, color ramp. I don't know what happened to when I tried to search and find stuff. It doesn't. Yeah, there we go. So you can have bits of it. You can of course increase that strength a little bit. Maybe I want it the other way, so I don't want that. Maybe I want the rough bits the other way. So there we go. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Or the other way. I don't know. It's up to you what you prefer. But what happens if we change this to B-spline? How does that look? It's more softer transition there. Yeah, I kind of like that. You can play around with that, but yeah, that looks a lot better. And we've got that silhouette. If you want, of course, you can put that wall up. They did have like a panelled wall. So if I go grab a cube, could also animate that. That'd be cool. Revealing. Anyway, kind of being silly here, but we could put like a wall here. Let's make this roughly the same height. It doesn't matter too much. I'm gonna just put this over here to the side, push this back. I'm just gonna use an array modifier, generate array, the number we want, and we don't want it on the X, so we want to go along the Y, I assume. Yeah. And increase that count. We'll put that behind. There we go. And it looks maybe too. There we go, something like that. You could add that extra wall in there if you want it. You know that it's like there's an opening. And of course, you're gonna have to tweak it a tiny bit, but. Just tweaking it and adjusting it. I'm just doing it quickly rather than modeling it correctly. I'm just using an array. Boop, I've got some detail in there. Of course, I can duplicate this again, copy and paste. Then maybe this one, I'll make it smaller. Oops. There we go, make it small. Bring this back down. And just place it slightly in front. Give it a material. Now you can choose whatever material you want. I'll put black, bring that roughness down, metallic. So apply this same material to that. Now there's a lot of person materials there, but yeah, play around with these materials, you know. I guess because it's very metallic, it's harder to see. Yeah, because yeah, but there you go. Or you can just delete that entirely. No, don't have to use that. It still looks good. Just even that. Now we didn't add no light, so the only light in here is our emissive material. Now you can add a light in here, maybe. Depends on how it looks, I don't know. Let's see, let's add an area light. Let's just get this up so it's nice and soft. Bring this up. Right, now if I just tilt this towards them a tiny bit. Of course you don't want it to be, you want to maybe keep it the same width. Let's see what happens if I make it something ridiculous. 1500. Yeah, so it's ridiculous. But there you go. And then I can color this as well. So I can combine the emissive with a light. Really pop, make it pop. If you don't and you want maybe something else like that, entirely up to you. Maybe it's light coming from the side as well. You know, you're not tied into any rules. Of course that's huge, but you know, you get the idea, right? If I bring this in, so you can get this nice light here, and I can copy this and paste, and I'm gonna flip it over here. Got a second light. And maybe I'm gonna pull this out so we don't get the the reflection on the floor, but we'll get that light, and maybe it's a warm color on one side. There you go. You can kind of create all kinds of cool looks. Something simple. It's just simple. There's nothing. We haven't. Look how simple. If you look at the scene, really, the only complicated model in here is these scans. Now you can do your own scans. Now there are like apps. I've downloaded a few apps that you can scan yourself and turn yourself into a 3D model really easy now with your phone, and import those in. Or like I said, you can go to Sketchfab, find great assets like these that are useful. But if you're doing something commercial, like I said, then maybe you want to scan your own people. You know, let's remove these materials on these characters. Let's create a new one. You can make this kind of darker, and you can bring, of course, roughness down. Get that nice. If I hold shift and select these and then control L to link these materials, so it should link the same material. No, did it not link the material? Control L. What was link material? Or was it the other way around? Boop, boop, boop. Control L. It's one of these. Boop. There we go. Oh, so you have to select the one last. But yeah, you can see just changing that on its own, the material, how they affect that. You know, you can pick up more, all this. Bit rough. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. And this doesn't have to be that shape. You know, this could be anything. So I'll just call this. I don't know. I just call it light plane one. Okay, I'll just turn this off. Boop, boop. So that's turned off. If I add a different, you can. I mean, just that looks cool as well. But you know, but you can add another mesh. So you can add like a circle. You can do tab F to fill that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Add that same emissive material. That's kind of cool, but yeah, because you're not tied to that particular screen. You know, you're not locked into trying to create this kind of lighting or this scene. You know, it can be whatever you want. Maybe they're at some kind of weird exhibition and they're seeing it's like a art installation with a giant light. There you go. Or you can even inset this. Insert again. Insert this. Insert again. Something like that. And then before those insets, if I select these and this and this and delete those, boom, I get an interesting shape. Yeah, but maybe make something else, you know, all sorts. Not having to do anything, but yeah, entirely up to you. But yeah, experiment, try to play around with it, make different things, you know. Could be kind of cool stuff, little stuff, big stuff, small stuff. You're not locked into anything. Like I said, you can take this one for example, copy this, paste it. You can have 3 of them. It's not one. It'll be 3, but you know, play around with it. Now it looks like something from Adidas, 3 stripes. But yeah, could be Portal, could be like ES. Scale this in. I should have done a actual proper off inset, but delete that face. Delete this face. Boop. There we go. Now we've got a little doorway portal. So you can see how quick and easy. You know, you can bring this down. Boop. You got a little doorway. Like, should we go through that door? I don't know. But yeah. Well, entirely, it doesn't even, it could be just, it could actually be, those right now just showing you all flat objects. It could be 3D objects as well. Like I said, right now I'm waffling on. But yeah. Could be anything. It doesn't even have to have emissive material. Shade smooth. Let's just add a, you know, could just be metallic, whatever you want. Let's add a subdivision on Suzanne. Boom. But yeah, have a play. Like I said, it doesn't. It can be completely up to you. You can change the color of the light, material colors, all sorts. So have fun playing with that. I enjoyed this one. It was simple, not too long. Not and you can see the reason I denoise, I turned the noise off. You can keep the noise on, but it feels very soft in the preview. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, yeah, it's just kind of something I've noticed. It doesn't look like the actual final render, unless there's that emissive material. There we go. I should have done the emissive link, but yeah, anyway. The material link, sorry, but yeah, just play around with that. Oop. I like that. Of course, you can animate the camera. Maybe you want to animate this kind of flying in or dollying in, or whatever you want. Let's say set key here, and then go to the end. I'm going to go to my end here, and then it's end somewhere here. Just slow drift. And at that beginning, I don't want it to be perfect, so I want to rotate this. Like, oh, not that way. So I want oops. So I want it like on. Would it be on the Y or the X? It'll be on the X. Nope. It's on the Y. Oops. There we go. Maybe it comes in and it's. But you see, I don't like the denoise preview anyway, just the denoise preview. But yeah, there we go. Animate all kinds of stuff you want. And then while that's animating, maybe we select this plane. Let me put this, let me turn the auto key off, put this back to 90, so there we go. Maybe I want to scale this as it's, so maybe here, it is at 0. Insert a single keyframe, there we go. And then as we get in here, now you can open it all the way up or whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, insert a single keyframe. There we go. Hit play. Boop. Yeah, it's got a cool animation. Nothing too fancy. Simple materials, procedural materials. Of course, you can add a different or more assets in and more geometry and more whatever you want. But yeah, enjoy your day, evening, night, wherever you are. Enjoy your holidays. Bye bye.